Starting tonight with new details on the trucker from mid-Michigan who was found in Kentucky with a missing teenage girl. 57-year-old Robert Phillips was arraigned this morning. There are a lot of rumors flying on social media about how that teenager ended up in Phillips's truck in Kentucky. And as Fox 47's Megan Heiler tells us, that has his neighbors not knowing what to believe.
I was shocked, very shocked.
Kim Kulowick used to live right next door to Phillips. She has been following the story on Facebook and in the news and isn't sure exactly what happened. She used to see him outside a lot working and says he always seemed normal.
I thought he was a very nice guy when I lived next to him. I mean, things can change, but I thought he was all right.
Police say Phillips picked up a 14-year-old after she left her group home. According to court documents, she told police Phillips gave her marijuana to smoke and put cannabis oil under her tongue. Police say they found both in his truck. To some neighbors, this was no surprise.
He lived in the neighborhood. He just wasn't right. He did some strange things.
William Brusso also used to live next to Phillips. He said it was only a matter of time until he was arrested.
I always thought in my mind that someday he would get caught, and he got caught.
Still, many are left wondering if there is more to the story.
I thought there was something else that happened. I didn't think he did it. I thought there was other things, reasons behind the situation.
I'm Megan Heiler, Fox 47 News.
Phillips is facing 2 charges: unlawful transaction of a minor and possession of marijuana. He's being held in the Laurel County Jail in Kentucky. Police have not said where in Michigan the 14-year-old girl is from or where the group home is located. We are working to find out what's happening to her. A Jackson County teen who beat his own grandmother with a baseball bat will spend at least 3 years in prison. A judge sentenced Brett Goodenough to 3 to 20 years behind bars today. He pleaded guilty last month to 1 count of assault with intent to murder. Police say he attacked his grandmother at her Rives Township home in October of last year after an argument over a cell phone. The assault left her with 60 stitches and staples in the back of her head, but today the woman said she could never hate her grandson.
Just want him to get help. I want him to get help. There's no way that I can take him back in though from what happened. I don't feel safe. I know he's sorry, but if he has any mental issues, I just don't want to have to go through any of this trauma again.
Goodenough was given credit for 378 days served, meaning he could be out in as little as 2 years. A Mississippi man is wanted for the murder of a Michigan State University student. The East Lansing Police Department has an arrest warrant for the 30-year-old suspect, and they're working with federal authorities to find him. 22-year-old Asai Barones of Alamo, Texas, was shot last Friday after an argument outside an East Lansing apartment complex. He was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead. We will let you know when police make an arrest. Well, let's toss things over to Dustin Bach now to see what those kiddos can expect tomorrow morning at the bus stop. Dustin?
Freezing temperatures. That's the bus stop forecast for tomorrow. Very cold start to our day. We have a freeze warning in place for all of our viewing area tonight. That means a very cold bus stop and morning commute forecast. We did reach the upper 40s today, not even up to 50 for most of us. Very cool, very chilly for this time of year. Steadily dropping. We're into the 30s now, near the freezing mark already in Hillsdale at 32, 34 in Jackson, 32 Ann Arbor, still 36 in Lansing. Winds, not so breezy anymore. Winds are weakening, so that's good news for tonight. You know, not much of a wind chill, but as we see calm winds and clear skies, that's a perfect recipe for temperatures just to plunge as we get later on into the night. So clear skies, no cloud cover on our satellite and radar. That leads us into a very sunny Thursday. It's going to be very pleasant in that regard, but you see it's below freezing, probably only into the upper 20s at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Winds will pick up out of the southwest. We get a little bit warmer into Friday, but not by much. We have rain on the way for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Dustin, thank you. It's not usually a good sign when 2 departments worth of firefighters are deployed to a school, but this isn't a usual situation. The Jackson School District is getting ready to demolish an elementary school that's no longer in use. And as our Kylie Kahn reports, that presents firefighters in the area with a unique opportunity to improve their life-saving skills.
Students moved from Cascade Elementary to Frost earlier this year. The old building is getting a little more use before it's torn down.
It doesn't have any furniture in it, doesn't have any students in it, so this is a very rare opportunity for the fire department to do training in a large building like this.
Wednesday, crews from Jackson and Summit Township used it for search and rescue training.
This is huge. This is really great training. We're all really excited. We've got a schedule set until the end of December. There's training here that we can't normally do, so it's a very big opportunity.
Some parts of the building will be recycled, but firefighters don't have to be too careful.
Well, I don't think they're busting holes in walls today. I think that comes later. There is a breach day. I know that they're going to breach the walls at some point down the road. There are some days when they do punch holes in walls and they have some fun in the building.
It's a chance for firefighters to hone their skills in order to better protect Jackson County.
I think it's a great thing for our community. It'll certainly make our response team stronger and better. So if we can help out with doing that, it's a good thing for us too.
Kylie Kahn, Fox 47 News.
The building the students moved to is just a few feet away from Cascade Elementary. The city says there shouldn't be any disruptions to them or to the neighborhood. Jackson Police will also be training at the school. Those dates have not yet been set. It's Careers in Energy Week, and officials at Lansing Community College showed off a program today that trains students to become electric line workers. LCC partners with Consumers Energy on the 2-year program, which trains students to enter a line worker apprenticeship. Consumers says the job is demanding but very rewarding.
You got to work 24/7, 365. So if there's a storm on Christmas, they work it. The pay is very, very good. A journey line worker that comes out of the program easily can make on the anywhere between $75,000 to $100K a year.
Consumers Energy says it is currently looking to fill about 100 line worker positions. Still ahead on the news at 10, people in Georgia and Florida assessing the damages and starting a massive cleanup effort after Hurricane Michael devastated the region. Plus, our consumer reporter looks into the Target effect and why it's so hard to walk out of that store with only one thing, and he does it all so you don't waste your money. But first, authorities believe the Wisconsin teen who went missing may be in danger after police reveal her parents were the victims of a homicide. We'll have those details next.
Sarah Swistak. Storm Shield weather with Dustin Bonk. This is Fox 47 News at 10.
The search for a missing Wisconsin teen is intensifying tonight as police reveal her parents were the victims of a homicide. Authorities now believing the teen is in danger. Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has the latest on the desperate search.
I just want to bring Jamie home.
Authorities saying every second counts. Hundreds of police officers in Wisconsin working this case around the clock as they try to bring 13-year-old Jamie Kloss home safely.
I've requested the assistance of our neighboring law enforcement partners as well as our state and federal partners.
The search intensifying as police reveal her parents were the victims of a homicide. James and Denise Kloss dying from gunshot wounds inside their rural Wisconsin home.
We believe Jamie was in the home at the time of the homicides, and we believe she is still in danger.
Leads have been pouring in from across the country. Local, state, and federal investigators are now looking into over 400 tips, including one that said the teen was with 2 men at this gas station in Miami. Officials now saying that sighting is not credible and calling on the public for more help.
Like our Facebook posts, our Twitter feeds, share and push this information out as we put it out. Check your cabins, walk your land, and report anything you feel is important to us.
Jamie was last seen Sunday at a family reunion. Hours later, a call from inside her home to 911. By the time police arrived, Jamie's parents were dead. The teen had vanished. Police saying it's unclear if the attack was random or targeted. In New York, Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Cleanup is underway after Hurricane Michael devastated the Florida Panhandle, Georgia, and the Carolinas, the third most powerful storm ever to hit the U.S. mainland, leaving a wide trail of destruction. People came back to find their homes ruined by the high winds and heavy rain. The White House promising to free up federal resources for the recovery effort, but many Gulf area residents say aid isn't coming fast enough as they scramble for basic necessities on a daily basis. Residents of one RV park returned to find their homes toppled over.
Then over there's a Montana on its side, up against the other ones over there, that's my house. It's devastating. You lose everything, everybody has.
Mexico Beach was considered ground zero and is one of the hardest hit areas of the hurricane. One insurance group predicting there could be as much as $10 billion in property damage alone. No one was hurt after a school bus caught fire near Dallas. According to authorities, the bus from Couple Independent School District was destroyed after catching fire this morning. Officials say 2 students, the driver, and a monitor who were on board safely evacuated. Fire department officials say the bus driver called 911 after noticing smoke. Authorities haven't figured out what started that fire. At least 9 people were hurt after a fire broke out at an apartment building in Baltimore today. Among them, 7 firefighters and 2 residents. Officials say crews had trouble getting the gas line shut off, and there was an explosion at the scene that sent 2 firefighters into the basement. Hospital officials say 8 people are listed in fair condition and 1 in critical. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp is taking responsibility for a serious campaign mishap. The campaign ad, billed as an open letter to her challenger, identified some sexual assault survivors without their permission. The letter, which was published in a North Dakota newspaper, was created in response to Kevin Kramer's comments that the Me Too movement is a movement toward victimization. Some women who were listed as having signed the letter did not give permission for their names to be revealed. Senator Heitkamp called the ad a huge mistake. She says the staffer responsible is no longer working on her campaign.
This is a horrible mistake that I take complete and total personal responsibility for.
A Fox News poll of likely voters in North Dakota released earlier this month shows Heitkamp trailing her opponent by 12 points. Well, if you were one of the millions who played last night's Mega Millions jackpot, we have some good news for you. It is still up for grabs since no one had the winning ticket. The jackpot has now risen to a record $900 million for Friday's drawing and is expected to grow even more. The estimated jackpot would be the second largest lottery prize in U.S. history. You have until Friday at 10:45 p.m. to snag your ticket. How do you make a haunted house even scarier? Well, just add virtual reality. We'll take you to this all-immersive experience in California, but first, Fox News Business.
The best big city for jobs. I'm Connell McShane with the Fox Business Network, and we have more coming up.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
You might have to head east for the best job market, and you might want to think about putting off buying a new home. Connell McShane with the Fox Business Network has those stories and more in your Fox News Business Report.
'Tis the season to be hiring. According to the firm Challenger Gray and Christmas, companies are planning to add 704,000 positions for the holidays. That is the most since they began tracking seasonal hiring back in 2012. If you're looking for something more long-term, maybe set your sights on the Steel City. That's because Glassdoor just named Pittsburgh as the best big city for jobs. Hiring opportunities, affordability, and job satisfaction, the big reasons why. Looks like those rising mortgage rates are starting to hammer the housing market. Construction of new homes sinking more than 5% in September. And it could keep falling because applications for permits to build in the future also falling for the month. And rising interest rates also dampening the mood on Wall Street after Tuesday's big rally. The Dow falling after the Federal Reserve said it's willing to raise them even more if the economy keeps heating up. That's a look at business. I'm Connell McShane.
Tonight's Pump Patrol price is $2.47 at the Speedway Station on Marsh Road and Saginaw Highway in Hazlet. We're looking for the least expensive gas price in mid-Michigan every day. If you see it, give us a call at 484-8847 and we'll put it on TV. If you love burgers, you probably won't love hearing this. Many of the top burger chains in the U.S. got a failing grade for their use of antibiotics in meat. Meredith Wood has more.
Possibly some bad news for burger junkies. Most of the top fast food burger chains in the U.S. failed the latest antibiotics report card. In fact, of the 25 fast food restaurants graded, 22 of them received Fs, 1 got a D-. Shake Shack and BurgerFi were the only 2 places to receive A's. The report card from a coalition including the Natural Resources Defense Council was released Wednesday, and it graded restaurants in 3 areas. First, whether or not they stopped using antibiotics in their beef or if they plan to stop. 2, how the companies were implementing those plans. And 3, whether or not claims by the companies of their antibiotic use is true. According to the report, using antibiotics in livestock contributes to antibiotic resistance in humans, and that can lead to superbugs. The coalition behind this year's report hopes it'll spur a positive change in beef production, since a similar report by the group on antibiotic use in poultry did just that. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Pizza Hut is rolling out a new menu, and the magic number is 5. The lineup features pizzas, pastas, sides, sweets, and more for $5 each when ordering 2 or more. The $5 menu is available now and includes a medium 1-topping pizza, 8 Wing Street wings, Tuscany pasta, breadsticks, and more. The $5 lineup is available for delivery, carry-out, or dine-in. Most people have heard of chocolate advent calendars. Some may have even heard of wine calendars, but now there's an advent calendar with cheese. Target will offer a calendar with 24 individually wrapped pieces of cheese, one for each day before Christmas. A food blogger in the UK came up with the idea and sold 11,000 of them last year. The calendars will be available in almost 250 stores nationwide next month and cost $20 per calendar. Also available at some Target stores, a new cereal paying tribute to a sitcom that's an old favorite. This Golden Girls themed cereal is now on sale in select stores and online. The box depicts the iconic sitcom's 4 central characters in an anime-style illustration. Even with the unique looks, it's not hard to tell Dorothy from Blanche or Sophia from Rose. Each box comes with a collectible figurine inside. The company Funko makes both the cereal and the toy. A new type of haunted house debuting in California. This one is a full sensory and immersive experience made possible by the wonders of virtual reality. Fox's Matt Johnson has the story.
Hey everybody, so we're here at the Void in Glendale, at the Glendale Galleria. So it starts right here in this room. You suit up, you watch a quick video about your mission, and you hope for the best. At the Void at Glendale Galleria, we're suited up for a high-tech haunted house.
All right, traveler, ready to go on your mission?
Sure.
So go ahead and put that visor down. Feel the lock. Remember, don't get caught.
Visor down, this is what I see. Immersed in a hyper-reality haunted house. In my virtual world, I'm back in the 1800s, walking through the decaying ruins of the Chicago World's Fair. I learn quickly I'm being hunted by a demon named Nicodemus. How did I do?
You did really well. You did really well.
No, I didn't. I didn't even finish. It is safe.
It is safe, yes.
It's frightening.
It's super frightening. It's super scary.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary is it?
So I'm a scaredy cat. So for me, it's probably a 9 or a 10. But again, we develop our experiences for all audiences. So for somebody who loves, is a total thrill seeker, they would probably have a different scale. But it's super unique to the observer.
Yay! Okay, so I survived. Okay, so tickets are under $30. It's great for groups of people and 10 years or older, but it's up to the parents.
Well, speaking of haunted houses, we want to see pictures of the scariest haunted houses that you've been to. You can send in your photos to yespics@fox47news.com and then just head to our website to take a peek at all of our Halloween-themed galleries. Bringing the spirit of Halloween to some of Sparrow's littlest patients who may not be out of the hospital in time to celebrate. We'll have more on this special party coming up.
Getting very cold tonight, a freeze warning in place for all mid-Michigan. That leads us to a very cold morning commute. We'll talk about that and the weekend rainfall coming up.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Hospitals can be a scary place for kids, but today Spirit Halloween and the staff at Sparrow Hospital helped make it a little less frightening. The Halloween retailer threw a costume party for some of Sparrow's youngest patients. Kids got to decorate pumpkins, create masks, and paint their faces. The event catered to kids who won't be able to leave the hospital to pick out their own costumes.
So it gives us the opportunity to bring the costumes to them and let them just transform from whatever's going on in their life right now to a character of their choice.
Since its beginning, the Spirit of Children program has raised more than $210,000 for Sparrow Hospital kids. U.S. officials are reminding travelers that it's still illegal to bring back marijuana from Canada into the U.S. Officials say border staff will not be increased and there will be no major changes in the way crossings are handled. Recreational marijuana is only legal in 9 states and Washington, D.C. Legalization is on the ballot this year in Michigan and North Dakota, but it's not federal law. Canada is now the largest country to legalize recreational marijuana. 2 Detroit police officers accused of failing to report a car chase that led to a fatal crash received their sentences today. Prosecutors say the 2 officers will serve 1 year of probation, perform community service, and pay $500 in fines and court costs. Dispatchers were not notified last October of the chase or the crash. Authorities say the officers left the scene and the driver later died at the hospital. The Grand Rapids Police Department is defending its officers who are facing criticism for how they treated a 12-year-old girl in the scene of a reported shooting. And as Leon Hendricks reports, they've now released body camera video of that incident.
Here it is, the video of the actions that most troubled the family in the middle of this. A 12-year-old girl called out of her home and placed into handcuffs. The family says she had police weapons pointed in her direction.
Yep, take those off. We're going to go to this side of the van here, okay?
Officers did as they were trained to do, which puts themselves and the individuals they're dealing with in the best possible position.
All told, police say the cuffs were on her for less than 2 minutes. And investigators say what happened on the scene was an effort to keep everyone safe. An effort made after this 911 call. The voice has been disguised.
911 emergency. Somebody shot one of my neighbors. There was a lady, she came out her house, she said, no, don't do it, don't shoot me. And then shots rang out. She came out her front door and somebody shot her.
That's what officers knew when they responded.
The chief says he only learned of concerns surrounding this incident after calls from reporters this week. He called out Commissioner Robert S. Womack for these remarks.
They will walk out backwards with their hands up. It has to stop somewhere. But I do look at it as stupidity. It's like you're dealing with a child. I think he does a disservice to both the community and the police department. Some of these issues transcend race. This didn't need to be a racialized issue.
Womack fired back on social media with a lengthy post mentioning all 4 high-profile incidents since last year involving the police and their treatment of black children. Womack announced that he's planning a march that he's calling the All Kids Matter March. He says he wants the community to push back against normally these types of interactions involving children and the police.
The march is scheduled for Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Grand Rapids Police Headquarters. If you've got kids heading to the bus stop tomorrow morning, they're going to want to bundle up. Meteorologist Dustin Bonk is in next to let us know just how cold it'll get.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10. Your Storm Shield weather forecast with meteorologist Dustin Bonk. Only on Fox 47 News at 10.
Well, our bus stop forecast is looking mighty chilly tomorrow morning.
Downright cold.
Yeah.
And the reason is we're well below the average, and we're talking about temperatures below freezing.
Wow.
Yeah, all morning. So this is our second freeze warning of the last, week or so. And allergy season, I'd say, is pretty much done at this point.
I know, you're so excited about that.
That's nice for me. My allergies aren't terrible, but it is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of our viewers would tend to agree. But it's the end of the growing season. It's the end of a lot of the flowers. It's getting to be real fall now.
Right,
yeah, well, here we're starting with temperatures, sure enough. It's getting colder out. They're still above freezing for most of us, but down to 30 in Hillsdale, already below freezing now. And we're going to be dipping into those mid and upper 20s throughout the night. Zooming out, pretty similarly cold across the Great Lakes, well below freezing already for most of the UP. On the other side of Lake Michigan, not much better. That tells us that the cold weather is here to stick around. There's not really any real warm air out west. We get a couple degrees warmer by Friday. It's not going to last either. Around the region, radar and satellite, some lake effect snowfall up towards the eastern UP. Still nice and dry in the lower peninsula. We see clear skies, in fact, for a lot of us. High pressure's moving in. And when you have the calm winds, the very low dew point, dry conditions with no cloud cover, I mean, that's a perfect recipe for temperatures to plunge tonight. And that's why we have a freeze warning for a wide area here, all the way down into Indiana and Ohio. Frost advisory further south. Yeah, it's just very, very cold weather. So yes, a freezing night tonight. That's top of your weather headlines. Cold temperatures stick around for a while. Like I said, Friday, maybe some upper 50s if we're lucky. Even that won't really last. Sunny Thursday looks great tomorrow, but the weekend ahead of us does have multiple rainy spots. So let's get into our future track. For tonight, for one thing, it's nice and dry. That's one of the reasons why we're getting so cold. There's no cloud cover, right? Well, that turns us into a beautiful sunny Thursday. Looks great tomorrow. Morning commute, evening commute, plenty of sunshine, but yes, again, cold morning. Friday, not as cold. We should reach the mid and upper 50s in the afternoon, but not as much sunshine. Increasing cloud cover throughout the day. We could see a couple raindrops in the late afternoon. More likely to catch the rain later on Friday night. You do see this little band of rainfall moving through. but it's not going to be bringing us a lot of rain. But still, that's the first round of it later Friday night. Another round of scattered rainfall is likely Saturday afternoon, which could interfere with that MSU game. Tailgaters might be all right and luck out and stay rain-free, but into the afternoon, scattered rainfall for the football game could be an issue on top of cool conditions. Into the forecasted temperatures tonight. There they are, dipping well into the 20s, mid and upper 20s for a lot of overnight lows. And then into tomorrow, that sunshine helping us to rebound, but only up to about 50, maybe just over 50 degrees tomorrow. Down to about 27 tonight. Clear skies, cold conditions, probably great night for stargazing. Tomorrow up to about 50. Thursday will be still well below the average for this time of year. Cold morning in particular for that commute. Our 100 Hanson's kid is 7-year-old Xavier. You want to dress accordingly tomorrow. The end of the school day should be okay, just on the cool side. We get a little warmer, mid and upper 50s Friday. That's closer to the seasonable average, but not even up to 50 Saturday or Sunday. Watch out for some rain late Friday night, and then more rain throughout the day, probably Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. And as we get into Saturday night, might see a few snowflakes mixed in. It's not impressive. I know nobody likes to hear that phrase, but might see a few of those mixed in as it gets cold at night. Next week, another chance for rain Monday. But it's the temperatures that are going to be the biggest impact here. No real warmth here.
Yeah, I stopped listening after snow. He had me at snow.
Oh, but it's Saturday night, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully good weather for the actual game.
Let's hope
Hopefully.
so. All right, Dustin, thank you. Well, it's time now for tonight's Yes Picks. Kathy Crawford sent in this shot of the Spartan Marching Band. It's coming, I promise. Just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Here they are during the game against Central Michigan. Great shot. Next up, some belated birthday wishes are in order for Jasper, who's celebrating his last year in the single digits. Happy 9th birthday, buddy. I just love that cat. And last but not least, check out this cutie patootie sporting a fancy fall sweater for the very first time. Looking very dapper there. Thanks to Lori Lewis for sharing. Well, if you have a picture you'd like to share, go ahead and send us an email. yespics@fox47news.com. There's plenty to do around town this week, and Laura Painter has the details.
Tomorrow night, Mid-Michigan heroes and leaders will be honored at the Inspiration and Influence Awards. The event is hosted by the Capital Area Women's Lifestyle Magazine and the H Foundation. It takes place at the Crown Plaza, Lansing West from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. For more information on attending, you can visit inspiration-influence.com. We'll have more local events and things to do right here on Fox 47. If you have an event that you want to share, send us an email around town at fox47news.com.
We are just a few days away from the big rivalry matchup between Michigan State and Michigan on the gridiron. Pre-game coverage for the big game starts at 11:30 this Saturday. Kickoff is at noon, and if you don't have a ticket to the game, Fox 47 is the only place you can see all the action live. An Iowa boy battling cancer got to check a big item off his bucket list, the chance to connect with the real deal Hollywood Iron Man. Dave Zawolinsky has the story.
The outside looks a lot like the inside.
His dad and I are lifelong Hawkeye fans.
Son Jackson loves the Hawks too, but in this case, looks can be deceiving.
His scans don't match the personality and his attitude at all.
January 2016.
They verified that he had a brain tumor, and 2 weeks later, he was in surgery having brain surgery.
The fight is leaving a mark, but when Jackson reveals what's under his Hawkeye shirt, you find the inspiration for his other true love.
His doctor told him that if he put it in the middle, he would look just like Iron Man, and he would get extra strength from his port, just like Iron Man gets extra strength from his button.
As the T arenas fought, Mom got an idea.
In July, when we found out that we didn't have a lot of options, you know, you start thinking about how much time you have. And so I decided I wanted to start a bucket list.
But kids dream big.
He said, you know, for my next thing on my bucket list that I want to do, Mom, I want to meet Iron Man.
Really big.
He goes, no, I don't want somebody in a costume. I want the real guy. I go, like Robert Downey Jr.
Jackson, is that you? Hi, it's Robert Downey Jr.
It took a friend with a connection and, of course, social media, but Mom delivered.
Thinking about you.
We were thrilled, and Jackson was jumping up and down.
Thank you, Alexander Jr.
Cancer is a nasty word.
I want people to remember that there's a little boy behind that word that has aspirations and dreams, just like other kids.
Robert Downey Jr. got that message.
Lots of love.
And Jackson's dream came true.
Oh, that is super cool. Laughing gas and labor. We'll let you know how it's being used in the delivery room to help women giving birth. Coming up next in tonight's Health Headlines.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Nearly 100 people have become ill from salmonella linked to raw chicken.